Hello and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. Today I thought we'd have a little look at Frantage embossing powders. If you've not seen them before, they're a lovely powder that's just like a standard embossing powder, but in with it, instead of just one colour, there's a mixture of different thicknesses and grades of actual embossing powders. So when we use them, you get the effects that you can see on the cards that you were just scanned over. So we'll start off by showing you how you could actually use this with an embossing folder. So for today's project I've picked our latest arrival, which is this beautiful Christmas tree. It's a 5x7 embossing folder and it's only $5.99. So I've already done that on just some royal blue Centura Pearl card. And what we're going to do next is we're just going to take a brayer and a Versamark ink pad and we're just going to brayer over the top of the Christmas tree. Now all we're doing this for is to put a little bit of sticky on top of the tree so that when we take our powder it will hold it in place. If you've never done heat embossing before, we're basically using a pigment ink, which means it'll act like a glue to hold our powder there. And we'll start off today by using aged silver. Now these powders are really lovely and the effects you can do with them are just immense. But we'll just sprinkle this on over the top here. Now you may be able to see it, you might not, but in this one you've got little grains of black, silver and gold. We'll just take off the excess. See if we can get that little bit in there. Oh. Now if you've got any bits around the edges, if you were at home you could take a little brush and just take these off, but we won't faff too much because I don't want to bore you to death. But we'll get rid of them. Then just tip this back into your pot so it's out of the way and safe from the heater. We don't want to blow it everywhere. Pop that to one side and then we'll show you the heating. Now just like all other embossing powders, when you heat them, a little bit might come off but the majority will stay in place. And when we go over them you might start to see the colours appearing any second. We just do a little area here for you. And there you go. So in here you've got the 3 different colours sort of amalgamating together to give you a lovely effect. It sort of looks a bit like a metal charm instead of an actual embossing folder. So if I just do that bit for you, you get the idea. So that's a part done and you can quickly see the difference between the one that's done and not. I think it's quite magical because if you look at this bit you can only see sort of a little smattering of gold and a lot of the dark colour, but when you melt it all of that lovely metallic comes to the top and gives you a really nice effect. So that's how we did our little Christmas tree one over here. That's one already done for you. And then moving on, so that was done with the aged silver. I'll show you this tree. Now this one was done with aged scarlet. So just to give you a different idea, but again you're getting them tones in there exactly the same. So when you take the lid off that one, you can see again you've got your gold, your silver, your black and your scarlet. So you get a good mix with all of them. And then we'll take you on to the next one. So this one again, this has been done with aged gold. Now personally, if when you purchase these, the aged gold and the aged black are very much the same powder. So I wouldn't buy both of them. One of them will give you the same effect as the other. So there's a little money saving tip there. And then around the edges of this one, with that I've actually used aged hunter. And with our previous sample around the edges of this one, I used the aged silver again. And again, you can see the gold, the silver and the black in that one. So the edges again are really simple. Another little technique. Instead of using your brayer this time to do your edges, all you do is just pick up your card and just brush your ink pad against the edges of it. This is a little bit more of a vintage effect. And it might not be everybody's cup of tea. But with these powders, I think it does look quite nice. So again we've got the scarlet one here, and we'll just brush against them ones, take off the excess and then heat in exactly the same way and that will give you these edges, which I think is quite nice. It sets it off a bit and matches in with the powders. So okay, moving on to our next technique that you can do with these. There's so much that a 10-minute video just isn't long enough to tell you about all of them. Another one I quite like is if you use your ultra thick red sticky tape. Just take the lid off of that so you've got just like a double-sided tape effect. This is great for borders if you want to coordinate. Instead of like the one I just showed you, which is a little bit hit and miss, this one gives you a much more exact finish. and you can just tap it off, and we'll heat that one so you can see how that looks as well, because this is lovely, it doesn't matter what you're doing. And to have a nice metallic border always looks good. And again, for this one we're using aged silver. We of course do this tape in a thinner width as well. We do this in a 3mm. So this is a 6mm, but there is also a 3mm. We'll just heat a little bit of that for you. Sometimes I think the 3mm one looks a little bit nicer than a peel off because it's more textured, and especially with the colours it's giving you more choice. And if you've stamped an image and you've heated it with these powders, or like with our embossing powders on our embossing folders, you're using the same colours so you know it all coordinates. And you don't have to have that sort of tacky peel off look, because I know not all of you like peel offs. I personally don't mind them, but I quite like that. That's quite a nice little effect too. So not only can you use this on card, you can also use it on wooden shapes as well. So I've got one of these. These are our latest arrivals. They're little random packs of wooden flowers and butterflies. I don't know if you've seen these. I know we haven't yet put them on Facebook. But they're only £1.29 a little tub, and you get loads in there. So we'll pick a little butterfly. And again with this, all we're going to do is just pad over the top with our ink pad, just so it's nice and covered in our glue. And then we'll take, let's go for aged gold this time. So we'll sprinkle that over the top. Tap off our excess. Turn that to our jar. Now another nice thing with these little wooden shapes that we're using is the holes are already in them, so it can help hold them in place. So if we bring that back, we'll get our tweezers and they can go straight in the middle there, so I don't have to get burned. And again you can heat. Now I quite like this because it's a much quicker way of covering your wooden shapes, and it gives you quite a nice little effect. So you can see it all bubbling up there, melted down nicely, and then we can just remove, and you have a nice little covered shape. Now we've done a few of these previously, so we've got a nice blue one here. That one's done with the aged aqua. We've also got another one here with the aged black. And then we've got this one as well with the aged green. So again, lots to choose from in them. If you do like your shapes as well, I don't know if you will have ever seen these, but these are chipboard ones that we do in store. And we do these with lots of words and pictures and different bits as well. These are really lovely to use with these powders as well, because you can just cover them the same way we just did the wooden one. I actually used them in a scrapbook lesson that we did. So here's one I made earlier. As you can see, the anchor and the little ship's wheel at the top, as well as the frames that they actually come inside, because when you buy these you'll notice that they're in a little cardboard frame, so even those don't have to be wasted, and you can do them the same. So this is using the shabby white and the aged black, just to tie those in, and again you're getting them several colours in each one. And then across the bottom I've also used it on this page just to give sort of a sandy sea wash effect, again with the aged white. Okay, and then moving on, I thought I'd show you this as well. This is another little project we did previously. This is in one of our lessons we used these. You don't have to use the powders with an ink pad. You can just sprinkle them on and heat it from beneath, which is what we did here over this embossing folder, just so you get a little speckle here and there. In the middles of the flowers, we also put just a dab of our glue gun in the middle of them and put it on top of the glue gun and then heated it. And around the edges we just drew in with a quickie glue pen and put a little bit on. Same with the butterfly. So there's so many ways you can use these to get so many different effects. They really are quite lovely. But now let's talk about the different colours they come in. So we've actually got 13 different shades for you here. So if we start from this side, we have aged wine, then we have aged marine, shabby white, aged black, aged green, aged rose. Swap into the other side of the plug, we have aged hunter, aged silver, which is the one we've been using a lot of today, aged aqua, aged gold, aged scarlet, shabby green, and aged teal at the end. So as you can see, there's quite a nice little colour selection there. Although we've sort of been looking at Christmas with today's samples, there's many different projects and many different themes you could do with these. Now they're usually £5.99 a tub, But today we're actually giving you our first opportunity to get your hands on these at half price. So they're only going to be £3 a tub. It is only for you lot who's watched today's video, and it is only valid until Saturday, August 6th at 5 PM. And these are a discontinued item, so we have very, very few of these available. So if you do want them, please write in the comments the ones you want, and we'll have them held for you for up to a week. Moving on, I thought I'd show you a couple of the other bits we used in today's video, just in case you'd like them too. So on our little card here, you may have also noticed our Merry Christmas stamp. So I thought I'd show you the set that come from. So that's this little set here with our snowflakes and baubles. That one's available in store now. It's £7.99 for the set. The ribbon that's been used on this one is 66p a metre. And these little gems I've put in the middles of the bows, I don't know if you've seen them before, but these are amazing value. You get a whole sheet of these, and they're only £1.29 a sheet. They come in white, silver or cream. They're already sticky back, so you can just pop them on. I must admit I did add a little bit of glue gun to mine because they're on ribbon, so it will help hold them in place a little bit better. Moving on, we also have a silver-edged red ribbon on this one. That one's 66p a metre. And finally, on our lovely blue one, I must admit this one is my favourite. I love that aged silver. This one is 85p a metre. And again, using the same little gems. Now, I think that covers everything in today's Sunday Showcase. But if you do have any questions, please write in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all next week when we have another new product to share with you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.